Podcast with Ken J.
Welcome to Why Not Us Podcast. It's your host, Ken J. And today in the building, let the people know your name. Let the people know who you are.
I am Mary Trice.
Mary Trice, founder and CEO of the Mary Trice Foster Care Foundation Incorporated.
Yes, Mary Trice, CEO and founder of the Mary Trice Foster Care Foundation Incorporated. Yes.
Most definitely. How are you feeling mentally? How are you feeling mentally today?
I feel great. I feel like I am meeting my goals. I feel excited for the future. I feel at peace. Um, I feel loved. I feel um, strong. I feel elevated. I feel like I'm extremely positive. I feel like I'm filled up with so much positivity that it overflows when I converse with people. Um, and I just feel hungry, meaning my goals that I am going to attack in the next couple weeks. It's like I dream about them, I talk about them, and I'm just tunnel vision to a lot of stuff. So I feel today, this moment, I feel absolutely marvelous. I feel like I am winning, not because of the way I look, not because the way I talk, not because of who I hang around, or because of materialistic stuff, or how many views I have on Facebook, how many likes I get on Facebook, how many people like my page. I just feel just like I'm winning because I know who I am and I know who I want as far as who I want to be in the next couple of years. And I'm real, I don't have to be anybody else. I have to be myself, and I know I'm a good person. So that's why I feel like I'm winning. And of course, I'm a good mother.
Yo, that's amazing. I love how you just said, I feel amazing. It's overflowing, so
Mhm.
I love that. I love your energy.
Thank
I
you.
love your energy. So today you will be educating us on Black foster care teens who are being neglected to our disoriented system,
Yes.
um, educating our sisters on parenting so that their children will not be in foster care, and
Yes.
also educating political leaders who absolutely do nothing.
Yes.
Okay, so take over. Let us know what's going on.
Well, what's going on with the Mary Trice Foster Care Foundation is I was set up to speak to the children who are staying. I don't know if everyone has heard it or not, but there's foster children that's staying at the Wake County Social Service Department, and they're mostly black and they're mostly teenagers. And the reason for that is because when you think about foster children, a lot of people don't want to take in older children because of the emotional issues that they have. And, everyone loves the babies. So no one, due to this time that we're living in, is even trying to be foster parents. So they have to stay on the floor, sleep in sleeping bag. And I talked to one of the social workers, and I asked her, I was like, well, what is something I can give them? What do they need? I said, I can't do a lot because, I'm not rich. I have a rich heart, but I'm not rich. Um, but she said they need tissue because they cry a lot at night. And
Mm.
they cry a lot at night because they feel like nobody wants them. Um, and when I heard about this, I actually set up a time to go to the city council because if you want to go up there, you just like tell them and tell them what you want to talk about or whatever. And I wanted to ask the political leaders that's in North Carolina, why is it that children are sleeping on the floor in the social services department when we have homeless shelters, when we have, you can put them in a hotel at least. You can, you have all these vacant houses. You can at least rent out a house. The government can put money to rent out a house to at least let these kids stay there. I still don't understand why these children are staying in the social services department at Wake County. I called the Durham County Social Service Department and I asked them the same thing. I said, is there children sleeping on the floor? Sleeping at the Durham County Social Services Department. And of course, they never answered me. I kept getting transferred and transferred. And I said, oh, this is something that seems like this is going on. This is bigger than Raleigh. They don't talk about it. I think Raleigh put it on the news, which I'm happy that they did. But this is a big issue. These are our our future. These are our people. These are our children. These are African American teens that are being neglected, and they don't even have a place to sleep. I tried to ask people to donate. I had one person that gave me $40, and it's not about the money. You don't have to give me money. You can buy the stuff yourself, and you can donate it. Or if you don't trust the foundation, you can buy the stuff. I could give you just go up to the Wake County Social Services Department, go to the front desk, tell them I want to drop this stuff off to those children. That's it. But still, nothing is being done. And as a former foster child, I feel like it's a disgrace. I feel like it's a reflection of the times that we're living in. And when I'm supposed to talk to these children, and I'm trying to figure out what can I say to them. What can I say to a 13-year old child that is sleeping on the floor at the social services department? I mean, I went through foster care, but I never experienced that. So it's just really sad, and that's why I'm glad that you were kind enough to invite me on the podcast so that I can, I'm gonna tag as many people as I can because some people don't know or they don't understand, or some people they don't want to know.
Most definitely, most definitely. It's really sad to just know that the teenagers feel like nobody wants them, you know. And I feel like it would be a good idea just to have a conversation with those kids if we're allowed to, even interact with the kids, with the kids that's going through this, to let them know, like, listen, you might be going through this today, but guess what? It's gonna get better for you.
Yep, yep,
It's going to get better for you. That's the energy that they know, that they have to know. It might not look like it. Sometimes it ain't about what it look like. Sometimes
yep,
that's where we're at right now. But it's going to get better. It is. It's going to get better. Because if
yep,
we talk negative all the time, we could pour love and light into those kids.
yep. That's right. Yep, I
So
totally
what
agree.
is it? So what is it that we could do? Like, how can we have conversations with these kids so they'll feel like they're being heard? Like, what is it that we can do as a community? Like, what can we do for the kids?
Um, like I had said earlier, one thing that we can do is um, they need tissue, they need sleeping bags, they need you know any type of Christmas gifts. They need pillowcases. They need like the girls. They need tampons, pads, toiletries. The boys need boxers. You can just get a box, put the materials that they have on their wish list, and at least drop it off to the Wake County Social Services Department. If you don't have time to do that, um, my foundation, I will personally pick the stuff up and I will drop it off for you. If you don't want to go shopping, you can Cash App, and I will go ahead and add that money to use to get the stuff that I'm going to bring to them when I go up there. What else you can do is just spread the word. Let people know. Go to those city council meetings. Hold the governor, hold the mayor, hold these political leaders accountable. Like, hey, you guys want to get in office, but what are you guys really doing right now? Because right now it makes no sense. for foster children to be sleeping on the floor at the Wake County Social Services Department. Like something is not being done, and I think that if we get the people in the community that can have a voice, or if a lot of people go to those city council meetings, or they email like I've been doing, like I told you I did before. I emailed like every political leader that was running for office, asking them for help, and not one person responded back. Not one.
But yeah, but look, you doing your part. Like you are spreading awareness. You're using your foundation, and everything. You're doing your part. So I don't want you to feel like that. You're not being heard. Like everything's gonna work out for you as well. Everything that you're doing, all these seeds that you're sowing,
Yep,
you
yep,
already know that harvest is going to be amazing.
yep,
So I'm just proud of you. I just love your drive. I love your determination. And it's like, yo, I wish it was a way that, they could come to the platform and share their stories, because I want children to be heard, all children, because all
yep,
children matter. It's just they
yep,
got to go through different paths to really find out who they are. Like you a whole example of you was in the foster care system.
yep,
It might have been hard, but look at you. Look at what you overcame. You know what I mean? So it's all
yep,
about, you being the example. You feel me?
yep.
So we'll figure it out together because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, man. It's all about just coming together and just working for a common goal. So it's really serious out here, man.
Yeah, and it's hard because me coming from the foster care system and seeing children that not only, especially during the holidays, not only are they struggling with not having their parents, not being loved, but they're also struggling with a place to stay. And it's sad. And then, you know, I used to get angry when I would see people do certain things for, I guess, for clout, as far as giving, well, I'm not going to say giving toys away because some people have good hearts. But the thing is, um, it's kind of like you do just enough to get that image. But my thing is, if you're going to help out, let's dig deep. Let's look at what it really is. Let's really research and give children a place to stay. Try to give them love. Try to really help. Really try to help. Because every year
For
I
sure.
used to give toys away to the foster children. I used to have a toy drive. I did it like 3 years in a row, but then I said, wait a second, let me dig a little deeper. Let me see how I can help these um, children with being better people when they get older, with finding colleges, with feeling like they're loved, with confidence, with so many other things. So it's like it's just really sad. It's like I'm kind of lost for words in a way because I can't. I would have never thought that something like this would be happening in the state of North Carolina.
Yeah. I totally understand that. Like for real. It's just like people don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. You said that people do. People don't care. They don't care. They don't.
Yeah.
So me being a former foster child, I feel like I have to pay it forward and I have to care. I spoke to a lady today. She was also a foster child, and she's we're gonna work together. She has a sister that stays. I think she said New York or something like that. But she has yeah, two other sisters, and we're gonna try to work and do what we can to help these children. And it's not just about the holidays, but if they're gonna be there, I want to make their experience as pleasant as possible. And also, I want to try to put the pressure on these leaders, the people with quote unquote money out here, to really try to put them in a decent place. Like, where's the group homes? The group homes are full, I guess. You can't afford, a hotel room. Like, give them hotels, at least a bed or something. Like, is it like, how much do you guys need? You know what I'm saying? How much do you need? And why is the government not able to make a grant for these children?
They are able to do what they want to do because the money is out there for the
Yep.
kids. They could
Yep.
they could they could easily rent out stay some Airbnbs or something.
Yep. That's what I was
Like
thinking. Yep.
they could
Yep.
easily do that. So the kids will feel like, yo, I got a home. They, at least they'll have that. The kids are laying on the floor. The kids are crying at night. Like, what are we doing?
Yep.
What are
And I'm
we
gonna tell you this. Another reason why I wanted to come up here. Excuse me. Let me get some more water. Excuse me.
You good?
Another reason why I wanted to come up here is because I reached out to a social worker that is a part of a program where they have the children do something like every month on a Friday. I was supposed to speak to those children November the 8th. I reached out to her. I reached out to her now about 2 weeks before I was supposed to even speak to them, because she told me she wanted me to have a speech because she wanted to filter what I was saying to them, which is fine. She tells me, um, I'm so happy you reached out. We're going to have to reschedule for December because something came up. And I said, okay, that's fine. And I asked her, I said, well, what date in December? So I can have my speech ready. I can bring the stuff that I need to bring. Haven't heard from her. I called her
Mm,
cell phone, left messages. I sent about 2, 3 emails. And then I finally reached out to the social worker that connected me to her. And I said, can you tell her to respond back to me about talking to those kids? She said, okay, I'll tell her. I haven't heard nothing yet. And I'm like, I asked my husband, he was like, maybe they got something going on that, you know what I'm saying, that you really don't know about, they don't want you to know about. I said, I just don't understand why would you all of a sudden, ghost me. I feel that way. And I want to hold the social services department accountable. You have someone that's willing to help, and you guys are not taking the help. And so now I have to go like the long way and, go up there. You know what I'm saying? It's like now I have to make my presence known by showing up to the job. And that's what I have to start doing tomorrow. I'm going to go up there. Hi, I was supposed to talk to the kids. And you know what? I want to go up there and I want to see, I want to try to go and see, like, look and see where the kids is at. Because I know that they're on break right now because it's Thanksgiving. I want one just to pass me in a hallway or something. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I'm going to be honest, and I'm not saying this, but when I think about it, it reminds me of like sex trafficking. Because my thing is, come on, like, I'm not, like, I know numbers. I'm a pretty wise woman. It just doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? It's group homes, it's places that you guys can have these kids besides the social services department sleeping on the floor.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, what are we wasting our money on? Like, what are we
Thank you.
what are we wasting our money on? Like I don't even understand because people really don't even have enough. Like I don't even understand. People are not even connected to humans.
Right.
People are not even connected to humans. So if it doesn't affect them, they don't care. So it's
Right.
like, yo, like that's another human being. That's a
Yep.
kid. And
Those are
it's like
kids.
the people with
Yep.
all the money, they can make donations on A, B, C, and D. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? But when it comes to the kids, it's just like it don't make sense. Like I don't understand it. Like I don't
I,
get it.
I don't understand it either. That's why I was like, something is not right. And I told myself, how deep do you want to go down the rabbit hole? Because I believe I'm a spiritual woman.
Hmm.
I believe God is good, God is love, and I understand, like, if I want to know something and and I'm curious about something, I understand that whatever I'm asking for, I have to be strong enough to take it. I have to be strong enough to not break down and I'm praying and I'm like, okay, I want to go down that rabbit hole, but God is good, God is love. God's like, okay, are you ready for this? Because nothing is ever what it seems.
Mm-mm.
Nothing is ever what it seems, and people will put an image just like people do every day. I meet people that have an image, and you really don't know anyone. You know, it's just images, and I feel like it's more to it because you have the money, you have the resources, but these black children are sleeping on the floor. Our people, and our people, we're so caught up with everything else, and no offense to the rapper that died. You know what I'm saying? No offense to him. You know, people shared that and was going crazy. He died. He got shot. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. These rappers, they sign up. They know what they know what they get into. This, I'm talking about, you know, children here. You know, you can't share this. You won't fight for that, but yet you'll fight for different issues in our community that don't even matter, to keep you distracted from the truth, to keep
Mm-hmm.
us distracted
Mm-hmm.
from coming together to help our future. And right now, our future, which is the children, we have a lot of them that's going to grow up very, very discombobulated, hurt. Two things that kids always remember: love and hurt. Love and hurt. Even when you are 5 years old, 4 years old, I don't care what nobody says, you always remember the feeling. You know, you may not remember the actions, but you're
Mm-hmm.
going to remember love and hurt. And we have so many children that are coming up with so much hurt. And I'm raising my kids with love, but my kids are going to have to live in a world with a lot of pain and hurt. And these parents, that think that, oh, it's not affecting my kids. You know what I'm saying? My kids are okay. You may think that, but your children, when they get older, those are the wives and the husbands or the girlfriends and the boyfriends that they're going to have to choose from, that they're going to have to work with, that they're going to have to pray with, that they're going to have to, be neighbors with, you know, and statistically, children that grow up in the foster care system, they are, the EQ skills are low, emotional intelligence, the SQ skills, the spiritual intelligence, and they have issues. I know because I'm just getting over mine at 36 years old. So just imagine, you know, it is worse than what it was when I was growing up because, as you can see, they're sleeping on the floor, and it's only a big deal when it starts to, no offense, if it was white children sleeping on the floor. It was a bunch of white teenagers sleeping on the floor at the social services department. And I'm not a racist woman, but do I think that something would have been done by now? Yes, I do. If it was a bunch, let's really think about it. A bunch of teenage white kids sleeping on the floor at the social services department, it would have been handled by now. But because they are black and because they know that a lot of us are lost, the baby boomers, they're retiring. You know what I'm saying? They don't really advocate for nothing, just like the Black Caucus and all that stuff. They're not going to do nothing about it because we don't do nothing about it. We can't even donate on a lower level. And then the social workers that are black are not doing their job, in my opinion, because you have someone that wants to help, but you guys are all over the news. But I don't know if they're not used to people helping, but they don't have a sense of urgency for me because if I know, I would have said, yeah, come talk to these kids immediately. They need all the love and help they can get. Please, oh, you have people that want to donate. Oh my goodness, whatever you can do, but it's not a sense of urgency. And because it's not a sense of urgency, it's red flags that's coming up to me. and I'm going to dig deep. I'm going to see what's going on, and I want to talk to the kids. You hear about them, but you don't see them on the news. You don't see them getting interviewed, but they go to school. They're probably going to. I don't know where they go, but they are very discreet with letting us be around those kids. And I'm just, you know, we have to do something about it because if a lot of people was doing something about it, then they would have no choice. But that's how I know nobody's doing nothing about it because guess what? She can curve me all day. She can say, "Oh, we decided not to do it," and what can I do about it? Nothing.
So, Mary, would you run for office?
Yes, I'm glad that you mentioned that. So I was joking. Um, and when I get 50 years old, I do plan to run for office. I don't know what city in North Carolina yet, but I don't know if I'm do mayor, governor, but or superintendent, or but I do plan to run. But can you hear me? Can you hear me, Kendra?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry, my it had a disconnection issue. But
It's
the reason
okay.
why I'm waiting to 50 till I'm 50 to run for office is because I want to have a lot of positivity to back up while I'm running. I want experience in a lot of areas, and I feel like when I'm 50, the days and times that we're living in is going to be different, and they're going to really need a leader like me. They're going to need someone with that fire behind them. They're going to need someone that's really going to really fight and not do it just because of gain or power or just because it's just to have that title. You really they're going to really in the next what I'll be 50 in what 20 something years, but in
14
50,
years.
yeah, 14. Look, I'm like 14 years. But when I'm 50, those foster children that are sleeping on the floors, the ones that are struggling, those are the adults that I want to be um, around. That I know that it's going to be messed up out here in a way. I'm trying to be positive, but I got to be real at the same time. So that's why I'm waiting until I'm 50.
But you know what? Honestly, you would make a good one right now.
Well,
Right now, like I just feel that energy, so that's why I asked because you're so passionate about it.
yeah, yeah,
They need a Mary. They need you.
yep,
They need you. They when I say they need you, they need you. Not when you 50 right now. For real, for real. Like your energy, your passion, your experience in the foster care system, everything that you stand for, your foundation, that's experience.
yep, yep.
Everything that you stand for is experience.
Well, thank
Like
you.
you could be that change. You are that change. You are. I see it all in you. I feel your energy. I feel you.
Yep.
Do it. You can do it. You know what I'm saying? You can do it. And that's my message for you. You can do it because nobody else is doing it.
Right. And that's another thing. You made a good point. We have all these people that are saying they're doing stuff and they're saying that they're doing so much, but when you look at the numbers, when you look at these children, when you look at the facts, I don't see what's being done because nothing is being done. For example, millions of people still have not gotten their tax money back. The IRS is backed up about 2 years. 2 years, people that need their money, that have children that work hard, that do rely on their tax money, have not even gotten their tax money. Um, Jobs everywhere I go, people are hiring. Uber, Lyft, all these everywhere, everybody's hiring. So I'm trying to figure out, when I have, you know, you know, I'm just confused because the economy is messed up. We're in inflation, and I feel as black people, African American people, however you identify with with your skin like this that come from our ancestors. Um, there's no reason why we have to sit back and feel like we're at the bottom when you can do Uber and Lyft, you can do Grubhub. There's jobs out here. People don't want to work because doing that, um, the COVID-19, people got spoiled, they got lazy, they was getting that money, they was doing PPP loans, and now they don't want to go out there, and now they're complaining about just the inflation and about the system and this and that and the third. But at the end of the day, bringing it back to the foster children, at the end of the day, it's always someone that's doing worse. And what's worse than anything is to be a child that is sleeping on the floor at the social services department. It's also nasty. How do they
Yes.
shower? How do they
Mm.
take baths? People come there with COVID-19.
Yes,
Come there,
real.
yeah. People come there. Sorry, people come there when somebody calls. I notice that this goes out, so I don't know, but um, people come to work with COVID-19, and they're forced to stay there. Are they healthy? Are they getting their shots? Especially as a teenage girl, when you're going to puberty, you're on your period. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta go, to a public bathroom with people use, and you have no privacy. You have no body there to talk to you about the changes that your body's going through. Even as a boy, you just it's just I can't imagine just being a teenager, and that's why I say it brings up in my mind something deeper than what we all understand, because it just doesn't make any sense. I,
I
I just
totally
can't
agree.
I can't imagine.
I totally agree. According to the Children's Home Society of North Carolina, there are now about 10,500 children in foster care who are in need of adoption.
Yep.
Foster care is in a crisis.
Yep.
Like it's a crisis for foster care, and sometimes people are not even able to get the license.
Yeah.
So
And I'm glad you brought up the license. Um, the steps to become a foster parent, and I'm actually going to apply to get my license. Now, people think that when you get your license, oh, I could be, I have to be a foster parent. No, not necessarily, but it allows you to be around foster children, to mentor them, um, do more stuff within the system. That's what it allows you to do. So the steps to become a foster parent is your age. Okay. They want people no older, I think, than 65. They're going to do a criminal background check. Of course, you can't be a felon. You can't have any sexual assaults on your record. They look at your income. You have to be able to support the foster child. They look at your housing. You have to be able to, have a bed, a comfortable place for the foster child to stay. It can't be like 10 kids and a two-bedroom. They're not going to let you, you know. They look at your health. Are you healthy? Are you, you got, if you have a cancer, or even if you're, dealing with diabetes, and you barely can take care of yourself, you know, they look at that. Transportation, how would you get the foster child, or any, even if you have, even as a parent, how would you get them to their doctor's appointments, school, extracurricular activities. They look at your marital status. You don't necessarily have to be married to be a foster child. I mean, excuse me, to be a foster parent. Excuse me. You could be single. You could be a single parent. They look at your citizenship. You have to be a U.S. citizen. You have to do training. They do make you like go to classes, and that's about it. And it's not that hard. Um, a lot of people think that it is harder than what it really is, but it's not that hard to become a foster parent. And it's, um, oh, I forgot one last thing. They look at a home study. Um, and what a home study is it's like completed by the county, and the assessor will come in your home for 1 or 2 visits to talk to you and your family. And during that time, they will also look at your home to ensure that it has all the safety standards. They want to make sure it's a safety place for the children to sleep. You have you know, um, a smoke detector, stuff like that. Um, they will ask questions about your family so they get to know you better, make sure that you're mentally able to take on a child. Um, you know, um, so, you know, with the training and again, the home study, um, and the citizenship, the marital status, again, you could be single. And also, you don't have to, if you do get married, from what I understand, you can be with the LGBT community. You can actually be a single, person that identifies as, liking men or women, whatever. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's plenty. It doesn't at this point. It's not about that. It's about them having love. You know, so that's one reason why I also want to advocate to the LGBTQ community. I hope I'm saying it right, because I feel like they are needed in that area a lot, because a lot of can't have kids. They want kids, and but they are afraid because of the judgment or what they think they have to go through. They go through the same steps that anybody else has to go through: marital status, home study. Whether you're single with a couple, you can change someone's life. Matter of fact, one of the young man that was a foster child, excuse me, he was raised by 2 men, and he's married, has a wife, has kids, and he's actually going to school to be a lawyer. So none
Awesome.
of that matters. They don't. It doesn't matter. But again, the transportation, your health, housing, income, age, and again, I'm sorry. I want to make sure I make a correction. In most states, an applicant must be at least 21 years old. However, in some states, it's 18 years old. But you have to be at least 21 years old and no older than, I think, 70 years old.
Okay. Okay. So with the foster care with the kids, is there any like different programs that they're able to do? You remember like when we was in school, some people went to the Upward Bound program and different things like that for college visits and stuff like that. Is that in place for them?
Um, they have like big sister, big brother programs. Um, as far as like college tours, they do that. The foster lady that I was speaking, excuse me, the social worker that I was speaking to, she told me that they were touring like a college, you know. So they do take them, on activities, just different programs. I think the program, it was called the CARE program, and that's when they Friday nights they have like, food, they talk, and take a field trip or something like that.
For
So they
sure.
do have programs for them, but again, they need more, more programs to me than just going to tour a college and then going back to sleep on the floor. To me, I'm like, you taking me to tour a college? I'll be like, what's the statistics that I'll even go to college? I'm trying to make it right now, you know. So it's like they, it's just kind of confusing, because as a teenager, I'll be like, why are y'all taking us to tour a college and we sleeping on the floor? I'll be like, why are you even playing with my emotions like this? Because you're doing it because you're funded, so you have
Hmm.
to do something. It's just it's like all over the place to me. So what I'm trying to do with the foundation, mentorship, you know, um, and getting my license so that I can be more involved. That way, they can't deny me of anything, because I'm like, hey, I went through the requirements to be a foster parent so I can be around children, and I've proven that I am stable enough mentally. You know, you know, my home is good, all this and that. So if I want to bring a foster child to my house for the weekend, even though I may not be able to keep them, I could just keep them just on the weekends because you don't have to other kids. But just keeping them on the weekend, to me, that's better than nothing until, my son, 4 years, he gets 18, and then I can go ahead and get another one, actually be a full-time foster parent. But it's just, again, it's just sad, it's a very, very sad situation.
And what about their mental health?
They, I mean, a lot of foster children, that's why they're sleeping on the floor, because they seen so much trauma, you know, being bounced around from home to home. They seen abuse. A lot of them got raped. A lot of them got physically abused, neglected. A lot of them have postpartum trauma syndrome, post traumatic syndrome.
I got
You know what I'm trying to say?
PTSD.
Yeah, PTSD. Because I had PTSD for a while. I didn't know I had it until I got like 20 years old. Because I used to like sleep and just wake up and I'd be scared. And I'm like, and my husband be like, what? He's like, what the hell is wrong with you? But I had that because some stuff that I saw in the foster homes, the fighting, you know what I'm saying? Just, but the foster children have a lot of mental issues, behavior issues. Like like, they fight a lot. Um, some of them have temper tantrums. Like when you tell them to do something, they just fall on the floor and just yell and scream. A lot of them, some of them, use drugs. Some of them are easy to, you say one thing to them, they're emotional, they just cry, 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 cry. A lot of them they run away. I remember one foster child, and I would never say their names because I know as a former foster child, you don't want your name out there. But she was just, it was a young lady, and she was just crying, and she was at a nice place, but she was just sad. And sometimes it's a little overwhelming, when you have so much positivity and love, you just cry because you're scared. This is like a new environment, you're not used to it. It's just so many different emotions. So these teenagers, they are the ones with the problems. I'm not gonna lie, they're the ones that you're gonna have to really um, set up counseling for them. You're gonna have to be a counselor. They're gonna need everything. They need extra love, extra help. Some of them, are suicidal, and they're rough. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because they were born that way. Like, oh, I'm just a bad kid. It's because of what they saw when they were younger. They went through so much. So we have to understand that. Like, okay, they're like this because they went through hell. And if you go through hell and go through what they go through, you tell me how would you feel? How would you hold up mentally? You know what I'm saying? And then you turn around and then you're sleeping on the floor in the social services department. Tell me how would you wake up? And how would you act in school? How would you view the world, when you wake up and you feel like you're being
She'll be back, y'all. But yeah, most definitely, the foster care system is basically in shambles. And just listening to her pour out her heart and just really feeling for those kids, and she's doing everything she can for those kids, and just try to be a part of the community. So it's very hard. It's real out here, man. And if everybody can just come together for one common cause, man, and be connected and work together as the collective instead of trying to be against each other and tear each other down, and really work together, we can really figure this out. Like, it's really real out here. We complain about this and complain about that, and it's like kids really out here sleeping on the floor, sleeping on the floor, like sleeping on the floor. like kids, like teenagers, because they don't have anywhere to go. So it's really sad, man. It's really sad, man. Especially for the black kids. Um, so it's already a lot of black kids in the foster care system, and you know it's just hard, and foster care and adoption are in a state of crisis. Foster care has been growing at an alarming rate with a shortage of permanent, safe, and loving environments for these kids. So, if you are interested in becoming a foster care parent, if that's something that you want to do, I will do my research on it, because it is kids out here that needs to be um, in homes. It might not be a baby; it's teenagers, because teenagers matter as well. Like we tend to neglect the teenagers, but they really, 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 really need people. They need someone. They need to feel heard. So that's all I can do is just send positive vibes and positive energy to the kids, and I hope that they are getting a better environment, and I hope that the government will be able to set up a grant or something, so they'll be able to be placed in a home or a facility, made for kids. Like, I feel like it should be a facility made just for kids, like, or for foster care. It should be something set up just like that. Like, it's resources out here, it's millionaires out here, it's money here. So it's just real. So I want to see if Mary. It seemed like she was having difficulties. I want to see if she'll come back to the platform, if she's coming back on. So if you have any questions, ask your questions when she comes back uh, to the live. But all we can do is just figure out how we can just help each other. That's basically what we can do, and just saying positive energy to people. Because at the end of the day, what else can we do? We just can't just sit here and not do nothing. Let's come together, like, let's build a bridge. Let's figure it out together. Like, I'm just proud of Mary. I'm just proud of her. Like, I'm really, really proud of her. And yeah, I could just see, her running for mayor, running for governor, because she really cared. She really, really cared. Most definitely. I was just thinking about that as well, Mario, about like grants, because it's like different grants out here set up. It's different grants out here set up, and you just gotta, sometimes it just be hard to find. It's just like you gotta like put in a certain way, but most definitely, I think it is like different grants out here. Most definitely, I do. I'm trying to see like she coming back on, because I just don't want to cut her off because she's so passionate about it. When you're passionate about it and you don't care about nothing but just being able to be the voice for the voices, being able to just love with a pure heart, like, that's what we need. That's what we need to feel, like we really need to get back together, and just with the human connection. We really have to do a better job at connecting each other and being accountable. Let's not just like throw things under the rug. Like, let's just have conversations that people are not having conversations about. Like, it shouldn't be kids laying on the floor. It shouldn't. It shouldn't be any kids laying on the floor at all, like sleeping on the floor. Like, children shouldn't have to go through that. Like, if it's the foster care system is set up for kids to be protected, that's how it should be set up. It should be different grants in place to have like places for kids to go to, in case the licenses are getting messed up, the group homes are getting filled up. Like, you really just got to go hard for what you believe in. Like, this is a whole prime example of whatever you believe in, you just got to go hard for it. You feel me? And I'm going to be supporting her, allowing her to come to my platform anytime that she wants to, because she has a voice, and I want her to be heard. So whatever I could do to help her out along the way, that's what I'll do. Um, but yeah, y'all, it's really real out here, man. And like, anytime someone really cares about others, is always a great thing in today's world. I agree with that, Mario. I totally agree with that, because it's not a lot of us out here. It's not a lot of us out here talking about substance and how to, really bring people together. It's not. And it's not the most popular thing to discuss, because nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about the things that people are running from. They want to talk about the things that people are polarizing, the negativity. They don't want to talk about actually helping someone in a positive light. So yeah, it's real. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes. Like I said, um, that's all I could do. It's just to allow people to come to the platform, allow people to speak their minds, allow people to be heard, because a lot of people are not using their voices because they're afraid of being silenced. And we don't silence people over here, especially when you're spreading love and light. No, we spread that light. We're going to keep it moving in a positive way. And that's what you got to do. You just got to keep going. So we just gotta uplift those foster kids in prayer, man. We gotta uplift those foster kids in prayer. My mom was adopted. My uncles were in foster care. So yeah, I know firsthand how it is to be labeled and to be displaced and to be broken away from your families, and being able just going to different environments, going this way, your brother over there, it's a lot. It's a lot of things going on. Sometimes, kids aren't blessed to get adopted in a family. So they just got to figure out everything on his own. You know what I'm saying? And so you really don't understand about mental health until you get older, and you wonder why this person is like this, and you wonder why this person on drugs, and you wonder why this person is acting this way. Is because of everything that they experienced when they was younger. Just watching your mom get beat to death, and just going through these different things. Like, that's why the people are the way that they are, because of the different things that they went through. And sometimes they don't know how to get help. And sometimes people laugh at people like that. And it's really deep out here. You know what I'm saying? When you are peeling the layers back and you really understand, like, yo, it's wounded people out here. Like, it's wounded souls out here. They don't know how to get help. All they know is survival. So they've been surviving their whole life. So love feel unfamiliar to them. So all I know is, what I'm saying, I'm a product of, like, my mom was adopted. Like I said, you just, you just try to figure things out. Am I akin to this person? Am I akin to that person? This my cut. I mean, it's a lot, it's a lot, even though, kids, like, you go through it, like, what I'm saying, you experience it. Adoption, foster care, and then they have kids, and then, if they was brought up on survival, you teaching them to grow up on survival. It's like a cycle, you know what I'm saying? Even though it looks different, it's still off survival. So it's real out here, man. Once again, most definitely have a part 2 of this episode. um if y'all want to get in contact with her name is Mary Trice. She is on social media, If y'all want to get in contact with her, her social media handle is Darlisha. If y'all have any if y'all want to get in contact with her, y'all can look up the Mary Trice Foster Care Foundation Incorporated. I will be leaving these in the comment section as well. It's real out here, man. So I'm just leaving all her contact information in the comment section. Foundation Incorporated. So, as always, y'all know it's love and light. You know, positive vibes, positive energy. Just spread love, just spread life, and just keep going. So once again, this is Why Not Us Podcast. Peace and blessings.
You can be what you wanna be. See what you wanna see. Go where you wanna go. Oh. Why not? Why not us? Why not us? Why not? Why not us with Ken J? Why Not Us Podcast with Ken J.